welcome to part 2 of my Thanksgiving break football review. Thanksgiving break is unfortunately coming to an end, so this Thanksgiving break special will go outside of Thanksgiving break, probably onto next week, seeing as this, I'm planning to make this a 3-part review. Anyway, on to the review. First of all, we have our first game of the review, Tecmo Super Bowl on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The game was released in around 1993. It's not so much of a sequel to the NES game as it is, more of a remake. The game features updated graphics for the Super NES, obviously, 16-bit. It also uses a little bit of the Mode 7 technology in the animations that are featured in the game. Another feature of the game is the updated rosters. Alright, we're going to take a deeper, more in-depth look at the game. Let's go. I decided to be the Green Bay Packers and play against the New England Patriots. You can see here, as I'm playing against the Patriots defense, which I'm certain was legendary. A couple things remain from the NES game, stuff like the animations after a sack, when you're kicking a field goal, when you're throwing a long pass, or when you almost get your punt blocked, or when you do get your punt blocked. The zigzag dive tackle glitch that worked in the first game also worked in the second game, Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES, and works on the Super NES one. The game also gives you a couple options with stuff like the field and the weather and the time of the quarters. In the original one, I believe you can only select 5-minute quarters. Also, you can pick between a clear, not like sunny, field, a rainy field, or a snowing field, which is pretty nice to look at. Otherwise, there's not a lot of difference between this game and the NES one. You can see the graphics have changed and the sound has changed and the music and all that. But it's the same basic gameplay style. You really wouldn't be heard going with either edition. This game was also released on Sega Genesis, for what that's worth. Yeah. So if I had to give it a rating, it'd be a perfect 10 out of 10 because I love this game. It's one of my favorite football games ever, and it's one of my favorite video games ever. Yeah, so 10 out of 10 for the Super NES Tecmo Super Bowl. On the momentary break between football games, I'd like to point out the fact that yes, this jersey does say Kansas City Brigade on it. I don't know why I have a Kansas City Brigade Arena Football League t-shirt, or jersey, or whatever. I just realized halfway through when I was doing the series that, well, I only own like 2 NFL football jerseys, and one of them is in the wash. So I went in the mad dash in my closet and found this. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. 1992, a company called Sega had the brilliant idea to release an add-on to their console that allowed you to play CD-based games. Some of the games on the said console were pretty good, like Sonic CD and that Shining Force game. But most of them, and by that I mean a lot of them, not most of them actually, used the full motion video capabilities of the Sega CD to play more or less the entire game. Games like Night Trap, or Double Switch, or Road Adventure. Road Adventure is more of a Dragon's Lair type game, and Double Switch and Night Trap were just messed up. That didn't really make sense. One genre that was tried out on the Sega CD was sports in full motion video. Football in particular. This is NFL's greatest, Dallas versus San Francisco. Essentially, what this game is a collection of NFL films, clips of the Dallas Cowboys playing against the San Francisco 49ers. You splice them together, and, well, they spliced it together, and you were the coach, and you picked plays on telling them what plays to run. You could pick either the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers, obviously. I mean, you weren't going to get any other team when the game was called San Francisco versus Dallas. And it just boiled up to be one of the stupidest things ever.
This will be the San Francisco 49ers kicking off. And there's the kick. Heading right down the middle of
The first thing that you have to notice is the Sega CD's quality of video. It's not very good. This would have maybe worked a little bit better on Sega Saturn or GameCube. I mean, something that could do the video without either making it a pixelated mess or just absolutely nothing and completely small. Of course, I'm about to recycle an angry video game nerd joke, but what would happen if you just shrunk the window of this video, and then you added a bunch of other controls on the other side of it? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, how'd you like to watch the video on a screen of this? Yeah. Of course, the game does give you the option to play the game in full screen, but this is a gigantic pixelated mess, and I really recommend you don't play it in full screen. It's actually better quality to play it on the lower screen, on the small screen window. The game box offers a selection of characters, or not characters, but professional football players that might be recognizable. Players like Steve Young and Jerry Rice and Troy Aikman or Emmitt Smith or Michael Irvin or whoever the guy was. Anyway, they're all playable in the game. But really, you don't even play as them. It's just more of a collection of videos of the players, and it sort of looks like this. And that's another fun part. It also has to load the clips between the throw and the catch. So the on-field control is pretty much the only plus to the game. And that's because there is no on-field control. Of course, that can be a minus as well. The graphics are terrible. There pretty much are no graphics, it's just videos. And the video quality is awful. So, what have we learned from this? Don't make video games that are completely based on movies. Movies are not interactive. Well, the menus might be, but the games are interactive. It's almost impossible to make like a good movie game unless it's something like Dragon's Lair or Road Adventure, and that's not even really that much of a game. It's just point and click and stuff like that. It just doesn't really work. And so this game effectively gets a 0 out of 10.